Hello everyone, this is the SQL Server video series from beginners to advanced course, and we'll see each and everything you need to understand about the SQL Server from beginners to advanced. So first of all, we'll make these some videos in a very basics level to understanding the concept like database, data, informations, and simple stuffs about the SQL Server concepts. So we'll see each and everything in detail in further videos. So first of all, let's see the definition of the database. So what is database? You can see the database definition. A database is a systematic collection of data. So what does it mean? So if you are collecting the data in a systematic manner, then it is known as the database. So if you are making the software for school information system, or you can say the school management system or hospital management system, banking system, or whatever. So if you are collecting the data related to their software, so in school management system, we can have only the information related to the school. So we don't need to put the information about the hospital or other things. So if you are making the software for hospital, then we have only the data related to the hospital. So this is called the systematic in a system. Okay, we are collecting data in a systematic manner. So you can see the second point, they support electronic storage and manipulation of data. So electronic storage means we are storing the information in a digital data. So we are storing the digital data. So if we talk about the Facebook data, Instagram data, or whatever data you store in your electronic device, your mobile phone, that is known as the database. So and we can manipulate that data. So we can update that data, we can delete that data, and whatever be the operation we want, we can perform. So you can see another option, database makes data management easy. So we can imagine that the if you today's world is the banking world, today's world is the database world, so today's world is the digital world. So what we can just think that today's if we cannot put our data into the database, and if you imagine that if you we have to put all the information in the register or whatever, so that may be the one of the tough cases for this real scenario. So we need a database concepts to store the lots of data, to manipulate that data, to handle that data. So example, you can see the online telephone directory uses a database to store data of people, phone number, and other data, contact details. So whatever you see, data in the electronic device, that is known as the database. So you can simply say the differences between the data and informations. So you can write in your exam that the difference between the data and informations, but you can just screenshot to understand about the data and informations. I will show you the another point. Actually, data and information are not two different terms. It depends upon the observer. Let's take an example. So if you are writing one book, one database book, and to write the database book, you need to research about the other books, and research to write your database book. You may search the different article, different other sites, YouTube videos, and so many things. That YouTube videos, that article, and other things, that is the data for you, and your book is information only for you. And if I watching your book, if I'm reading your book to make this video, then your book is for me, that is data. And if I'm making this video is for information for me. But other students, if you are watching this video, and other people, they watch this video, and this is the data for them, and if they gain the knowledge, and that is the information. So this is the flow of the differences between the data and information. So actually data and informations are not two different terms. You have to think like this. But when you write in the exam, you can write the definition of the data like it is a raw facts and so many things, and after the processing of the data, you will get the information. So next term, what is SQL? So we are reading the SQL Server. So to understand about the SQL, so first of all, understanding about the language. So language means we can communicate with each other. So through our the language, through speaking, through writing, through reading, or through symbolic representation. So likewise, if you want to interact with the database, we can use the SQL. This is the stand for structured query language, and it is used to communicate with the database. So if you heard about the programming language, I think you may know about it. The programming language that is used to interaction with the computer, or they used to communicate with the computers, and SQL is used to communicate with the database. And you can simply say the types of databases. This is first one is the distributed database. Data distributed in various locations. It means that if we have one software and that software data is in the on the different locations. So next one is the relational database, and we can take an example of relational database as the SQL Server, or you can simply say MS SQL, MySQL, and Oracle. And we are reading here the SQL Server. It means that this is related to the relational database, and we need SQL. We need SQL as a structured query language for the relational databases. An object-oriented database, this is PostgreSQL. So it takes data as an object. And another one is centralized database. This is opposite to the distributed database system. It means that the whole data is stored in one place and other can access that data. And another one is cloud database. It means that it doesn't need the physical server. It store data in the virtual environment. And data warehouse, it is used for decision making. That means that we can analyze our the growing level, company growing level, so to analyze the benefits and so many things and historical data, we can use the data warehouse concepts. And NoSQL means data in unstructured data. It represents the unstructured data. So you have to understand the one important concepts. So this whole course is related to the database management system. So I'm making the video series of the SQL Server course. So that is related to the, that is directly connected to the, that is related to the database management system. If you are reading SQL Server or MySQL or Oracle or whatever you can call, that is known as the database management system. So you know the definition of the data, you know the definition of the information, you know the definition of the database, and now you have to understand in the concepts of the database management system. So database management system is the collection of program that enables its user to access databases, manipulate data, report and represent data. It also helps to control access to the database. It means that we are collecting the data in a systematic order, that is known as the database, but we have to manipulate it. It means that we have to insert some more data, we have to update that data, we have to delete data, and also we have to read that data. So for this different operations, we need a database management concepts, and that are the SQL Server, or you can say the Oracle, MySQL. These are the some of the database management system. And to handle such types of things, we need a language called SQL, that is known as the structured query language, and that is used to interaction with the database, or you can simply say that used to communicate with the database. So first implemented in the 1960s, and Charles Beckman Integrated Data Store is said to be the first database management in the history. This is some information about the history. And now you can see the example of database management system: MySQL, MariaDB, PostgreSQL, Microsoft SQL Server. This is the our course which you are creating now, and Oracle database and Microsoft Access. So now we can see the summary of this short video. What is database? You know the concept of the database, that is the systematic collection of data. You cannot say that this is only the collection of data. So if you are collecting the data, it doesn't mean that the database. So if you are collecting the data in a systematic order, that really create that have really the the information about that data, that is only the database. So if you are collecting the data from the student, from the hospital, so many places, it doesn't make any sense, then that is not the database. So you know the concept of the data and informations. So actually data and informations are not two different terms, not two different things. Data and informations are the same things, but it depends upon the observer. So sometimes you may call it as a data, and sometimes you may call it as a informations. So I'm giving an example related to the writing a database book. So that database book, if you are writing database book, that book is for you that is information, for me that is data. And if I'm making this video, for me this is data, and if someone watching this video, for them that is this is the for them this is the data. So for me this is data, and for me this is information, and for them this is data. So I'm talking about the DBMS, so database management system. So actually we are creating the course related to the database management system, and if you are learning the database, it means that you are learning the database management system, because we are not learning about the only the collection of systematic collection of data. So it doesn't make any sense if you collect the data, but if there isn't any way to handle and manipulate such data, then there isn't any concepts, there isn't any sense. So this is where you can simply say the overview concept of the database. Hope guys you will understand this video, you will get some knowledge about the database, and for the video series we'll download the SSMS, that is SQL Server Management Studio, and we'll start to writing some code. We'll start to writing some scripts. In programming language you can say the code, in database you can say the script, and we'll learn more and more advanced concepts slowly. But some of the few videos will only understand about the basic terms and concepts which you need to understand about the database. Thank you so very much for watching this video. Thank you.